Welcome to Tuesday Notary Titans. Today is January 13th, and you are on the nation's longest running free coaching program for notaries. I want to give a very special hello to everybody that's watching the replay on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. And I want to explain to you what TNT, Tuesday Notary Titans, is. You are stepping into a mastermind filled with experienced pros, smart, curious notaries who actually want to see each other win. This is TNT. Think of it as a play-by-play of the notary business. We go live every week to break down what's working, celebrate real wins, and coach you through the strategies that keeps your business moving forward, not stuck on the sidelines. Now, you're going to find in the chat all the rules and things that you need to know about this call, the etiquette, things like that. You can also ask questions in the chat, but we prefer that you raise your hand and we give priority to folks that raise their hand to ask a question. Now, you can find that raised hand feature by looking at the very bottom of your Zoom screen. You'll see a little outline of a hand. If you can't find it, look under the word more and see if, or reactions, and see if you can find it there. My name is Jen Neitzel. I am the founder of Marketing for Notaries and the co-founder of the Certified Notary Trust Delivery Agent Training. And I am joined every week by the GOAT herself, Laura Bewer. How you doing today, Laura?
It's a super fine day.
Super fine day. Looks like you're teaching today for the
Yeah.
NNA.
hmm
Awesome. Well, we are also joined by the president of the California League of Independent Notaries, Mr. Matt Miller. Hi, Matt.
Hey Jen, good afternoon, everyone. Happy to see all of the familiar faces and new faces.
Yes, I want to give a very special welcome to anyone who is new to this call. We are thrilled that you are here. We're going to spend a few minutes going over a couple of announcements, just why you guys are coming in and getting comfortable. And I am going to let Laura start with our announcements because she has a new book and you need to get it. Laura?
Well, if you are doing hospital, hospice, or homebound signings, the Compassionate Notary is the field guide I wish every notary had before walking into these rooms. It's about doing the work well, protecting the signer, and protecting yourself. So you'll see the link in the chat. If hospital or hospice work is on your radar this year, this book will serve you well.
Yeah, and Laura, we have a little running joke about having access to you as like having the goat in your back pocket, right? But this is truly because I envision this book as being something that people are marking up and taking notes in ferociously every time, they're in a hospital situation. So if working in any kind of medical or care facility is on your radar, guys, definitely do not walk, run to get this book. It is really, really good. We also
Thank
want to
you.
remind you about the upcoming National Notary Association conference. It's happening this year in May 3rd through 5th in Orlando, Florida. The early bird pricing of $750 for the full conference pass ends at the end of this month on January 29th. So if you are interested, now is the time to purchase your tickets. I also want to remind you guys that there is a new email going out to remind you about this call. So if you don't see it on Tuesday mornings, it may have been auto-filtered by Gmail into your promotion folder or your spam folder. So you might want to go look at that. And once you find this link, guys, just throw it on your calendar. The link doesn't change. It's going to stay the same length this entire year, and you can throw that in a repeater on your calendar. That way, you never miss this call. Of course, if you are a member inside the Certified Notary Trust Delivery Agent Program or Marketing for Notaries, you can find the direct link to this call inside the calendar. Now, speaking of CNTDAs, Laura and I have a free webinar coming up January 19th, and it is all about the opportunity behind becoming a certified notary trust delivery agent. Now, go ahead and get registered. If you can't make it, we will be sending out the replays. We are hosting other webinars in February, but this is our next one coming up. I would love to see you there if you are not a CNTDA already. And don't forget, if you are a CNTDA, you are entitled to a 20% affiliate link anytime you refer somebody to the program. So if you refer them and you have them come watch this presentation on the 19th, 20% of their fee goes directly to you for bringing in a new CNTDA. All right, guys. Oh, one last thing I wanted to remind you about. Um, I've been knee deep in redoing everything for CNTDA, as you guys know. So I'm pushing back toward marketing for notaries and adding a bunch of new components there over the next couple of months. So, because of that, because the value is more, the pricing is going to go up. So, if you have ever thought to yourself that you need a marketing plan, and if you don't have one, you do need a marketing plan, check out Marketing for Notaries while we still have 2025 pricing through the end of this month and February. Okay, guys, let's get this party started. Who wants to start off with a question? All you have to do is raise your hand and we can get this started. Everybody's going to be quiet now, Laura.
I know. I'm looking through the pages to see if I can volunteer someone.
Oh, look at you. She's being brave. Brian
Mm,
raised his hand. Hey, Brian. Is this Brian Bryla?
Yes.
Hey, Brian. He is out in California. What can we do for you today?
I just had a quick question about the CNTDA.
Okay.
Is that the thing that Bill Soroka was running, or is that is this a different one?
Bill was in the program with us. He is no longer a part of the program, so Laura and I are managing that now.
Okay,
And it,
where do you get the link to sign up for the class to
oh,
do the
it
certification?
Matt, were you able to throw that in the chat?
That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
It's a lot of stuff we have to post, so let me pull that for you really quickly. It is right here. It's coming up next. It's coming up on
19th,
Monday. Yeah. Is it Monday? Yeah.
Monday the 19th
Monday. I don't even know what day it
at
is.
10 a.m. California time.
There we go. It is in the chat now, so you guys can register. It's a free event. If you're already a CNTDA, you can come to the call for support, but it's not necessary. But Brian, we'd love for you to join us. Go ahead and get registered. It's free and come learn all about the opportunity and how it can help you. Lisa, tell us where you're calling from.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
I am calling from North Carolina.
Well, it is nice to see you today. What can we do for you?
I am questioning. So, you're talking a lot about the revamping of the CNTDA, and I've been a CNTDA for a while. So, when I went back to look, I was going to pick up whatever changes you guys had made. They all still look like they're complete with the little green check mark. Is that correct? They're not going to change to like you would when you're brand new going through it? Does that make sense?
So when you transitioned over from the Notary Coach platform to our platform on the school, in the school community,
Correct.
no, it is not going to, those little check marks that showed you on Bill's platform that you completed a course, it's not going to show you on this, but you can manually enter those at the top of each class. And honestly, the rule of thumb here, Lisa, is if you don't remember if you took that course or what that module was about, that means you need to watch it again, you
Which
know?
I did when you guys initially revamped it to school. I did that. So,
Oh,
have
cool.
you made additional changes since then? I
No,
mean, I know you
it,
added
Yes.
your 5 point marketing
mhm.
piece, but are there other
Content.
changes in there?
Yeah, there is.
Yes.
Okay.
There's content changes. I have added a slew of worksheets and things that you can use to help support you along your journey. Checklists, guides. Just yesterday we launched step 2 of the 5 point marketing system.
Yes, I was on that
And
call.
Yep. And we
Good job.
have all kinds of great resources that are attached with it, including a workflow, a CRM setup checklist, and a tagging system checklist. So,
Okay.
yeah. So
So it
just
sounds
keep
like with my new year, I'm going to get a refresh on it.
there you go. There you go. Yeah,
All righty.
it's really there's all kinds of cool stuff in there. And I know Laura and I feel strongly that you guys, this is not like a one and done training. Get
Oh,
in
no.
there and watch these videos more than once because the more you know, the more the information is going to hit you differently, right? As you're learning and growing along the way. So get in
I
there,
would
mess
agree. I
around.
learn something new every time I go through it.
Yeah, I know there's so much stuff in there. So, thanks for the question, Lisa.
Thank you.
All right. Who else wants to ask us a question? Marilyn's, I'm not sure what you're asking. Where is that at? I don't know exactly what you're asking. Marilyn, are you there?
I wasn't paying it close enough attention. Where's the stuff that you were just talking about? Where do we find that at?
For CNTDA,
It's inside the
Yeah,
classroom.
just the platform. Yeah, I was doing something else and missed it.
Just go look in the classroom. All of the, yeah, go check out all the portals. Poke around. You'll find all kinds of great new resources in there to support you along the journey.
Awesome, thank you.
You got it. Who else has some questions for us today? You guys have the GOAT in the notary industry on this call, Miss Laura Beaver. What do we want to ask her? Hi, Melissa.
Hi, good morning. I wanted to know where to get the affiliate link.
You're going to go into, um, hold on here. Let me make this a little easier. Let me do a little preview, Melissa.
Awesome.
This is your classroom. Can you see this, Melissa?
Yes,
You're going to scroll all the way down to this portal that says making money as an affiliate. And it tells you exactly how to set up your affiliate link and exactly how much you're going to make from it.
awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. Sorry, let me stop sharing there. Who else has a question for us, guys? I am going to our form to pull up our submitted questions. Let's see here. Oh, sorry. Let me get to the response part.
we have 61 people and no questions.
No questions. We've been doing our job, girl.
I guess so. They're not going to need me anymore.
Um, okay, here's a good one, Laura. I'm not sure who this is from. I need to redo this sheet. Um, I received an order for a deed signing. Husband was signing POA on behalf of wife. He expressed upon arrival that his wife had passed away. We called title, and title told him to sign anyway and send the death certificate, or he'll have to wait until he receives the death certificate, and she will have to redraw the documents. Said
Well,
to, said to me, yeah, go ahead.
let's just clarify some things. So, POA is an incorrect status. If the wife has passed, he would have a different capacity. He could be signing as executor or trustee, but he would not be signing as the attorney in fact, because once somebody dies, the power of attorney dies with them. So he would need to have a different capacity for that. And of course, what state does it say what state she's in?
No, California.
California. So in California, we're not required to see that documentation that shows they have that capacity because we're not certifying it. So I would not have proceeded. It would not have been okay for me as a notary because I know it's not okay to use that signature setup. That status is not appropriate. They should redraw the document or give direction to the notary. Title, give direction to the notary in terms of what other capacity does he have.
Yeah.
That isn't appropriate.
So the question goes on, and title said to me, "Are you going to just sign, or can you stop wasting my time?" The client was more appalled than me. I told him that was illegal in California for him to sign POA if the person is deceased. She said for me to leave and stop wasting her time. What would you have done in this situation?
Well, it sounds like she needs a different notary, and that title person isn't my customer for sure,
Yeah.
because I'm not going to engage in doing things just because I'm told to do it. Because just because they work in title doesn't mean they know what they're doing, right? I don't.
Yeah.
If I know what I'm doing, then I know when I can say that hits my limit. That's a hard stop for me. And if you want another notary, go get yourself another notary because this notary doesn't do work that way.
Yeah.
Um, and
And I
that's
think
fine. I
that,
can do it. And then I would have stopped the signing then if this is not,
yeah. But that's such a foreign concept when, we are in this hustle in the beginning and building our businesses, and we want to take every job and everything that comes our way because we're, trying to make money and pay bills. And so it's just we make the incorrect assumption that just because somebody hired us, title,
right.
title escrow, estate planning attorney, we make the assumption that they know all about the notarial rules in the state that you're in, right? And that's not always the case.
Yeah. And that's why it's so important for you to know,
Yeah.
right? So, because if they sense any doubt, right, they will push you, they will bully you
Hmm.
into doing something that isn't appropriate. And if it all falls apart later, they're not going to be there to take the fall. You are. So that's
Exactly.
why it's just so important that you know what's right and what's wrong. And if she had any doubt, she could say, you know what, let me call a resource, a reputable resource, maybe the hotline, present that situation to them and confirm her initial thoughts or ideas about that's not an appropriate signature.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Thank you for that. And Michaela, hi. Do you have a question for us? Did that spark something in your head?
Yes, it sparked something else. I've been getting signings for loan signings for $50 and less, $50, $75, and it's a 2-hour drive. And in rainy weather, into the foothills here, and I find that I keep rejecting them, but they still send them out to me. It's like, but somebody else takes them because they get fulfilled in some way or another. Is there anything we can do besides saying no? Is there anything else we could say to them and telling them that the fee's too little? I mean, I always say I won't accept it because the fee's too small for 2 hours of my time plus the signing. So, is there
Laura, what
any
do you
other
say to that?
recourse?
What do I say? I
Yeah.
say not everybody's my customer, and I don't worry about those who uh, give the wrong offer that doesn't meet my business
Okay.
needs.
All
And
right.
I focus on the ones who are giving me my business needs. And it
Okay.
is unfortunate that there are companies out there making those kinds of offers, but I'm glad to hear that you're using your own mind and saying, I'm not driving 2 hours, even if it was to do nothing, for $50.
Yeah.
So I don't know how or if or when that situation will ever change. But the other thing is, if you're not happy with the type of work coming your way because the fee is a problem, look at other work. There's
Mhm.
more than loan
Yeah. Yeah.
signings
Yeah.
available to us. It's not the only thing we can do, and we can get paid better and not be under such pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I
estate
want to make a
planning.
comment.
And I'm qualified for that too. So yes, I'm into
Right?
marketing now. I have to market myself better. I
Okay.
understand.
Yay, marketing.
I mean, there's other ones too. There's apostille work. You could specialize in hospital work.
And
Uh,
I've done more
and the
apostille work
list
than
goes.
anything else. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, and Matt, I'd love to hear your perspective on this.
Yeah, I think that notaries need to really step into negotiation and itemize your services, right? You want me to drive 2 hours each way. You want me to print documents. You want me to present them to the signer. You want me to notarize the documents. You want me to possibly scan them back to you, drop them for shipping, et cetera, et cetera. And then present your fee that would cover all of those costs for you and give you a profit. But I do want to make a comment about what offers are going out versus what is actually being paid for the job. So, we all see these offers for 50, 75, $95, but that's just an offer. What we never see, unless you're the one taking the job, is what they actually end up paying for that job. So just remember, just because the offers are coming out at those numbers does not mean that that's what they're actually paying for those jobs.
Yeah.
So you might see something for 50 bucks, counter them at 100. You might see something for 75, counter them at 150, right? Just know that because that number is being offered does not mean that's what they're getting. That's what they're actually paying to complete that job.
Right.
Yeah. And I think both valid points. And I think I treat it now like I did, Michaela, I do with, all the super salesy emails that come through from, one of them one time was like hot and string bikini or something like that, or hot and bikini at 50 at AOL.com or something, trying to sell me something. And I just hit delete because that's not somebody I want to work with. I'm still getting loan signing offers for, 30, 40, $50, and I just completely ignore them. So that is not, it's not worth my time. But thank you for that question, Michaela. I appreciate it. Okay, so hopefully, tell me if I'm saying your name right. Amezi, you're on mute.
Yes, my name is Ameze. I'm
Oh, I
from
said it right. Yay. Good.
Mhm. I'm from Georgia.
Nice
Just
to see you.
yeah, I've been doing loan signing since 2020, and I can't complain. I think it's been a good business for me,
Mhm.
but I'm trying to find ways to increase my business. Sometimes I get tired of driving, and I know in Georgia we can't do remote notarization. I want to ask what other ways we could do in Georgia to increase the business other than driving from one place to the other.
Laura, do you want to take this one? Oh, where'd she go? Oh, she's away. Sorry, I didn't realize that. I had her covered up. Um, so
Hold on, I'm moving.
Oh, okay. So, Ameze, you can focus on hospital work, care facility work. And Matt, will you tell me the CNTDA in Georgia, since it's an attorney state, is there any conflict there? You're on mute. You're
Okay,
on mute.
not with estate plan delivery, but there is the conflict with loan signings for Georgia properties.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
understand what Amazing is saying because California is very much in a similar position that Georgia notaries are, where we are not yet authorized to perform remote online notarization. So, yeah, I'm still driving from place to place every single day. And I think that, even in states where remote online notarization is underway, what we're finding is that it's a very low percentage of transactions. In fact, it's about only 1.5% of notaries are online notaries because it's really very niche to the real estate industry. There's only 7 states that allow estate planning documents to be signed and notarized online, and Georgia's not one of them. Um, and I don't think the public is very keen on online notarization, and that's not my opinion. That's the opinion of the annual Solidify Mortgage Experience Report, which says consistently more than 80 or 90% of borrowers want an in-person closing experience. So I think that you know you should really lean into your local market, become the go-to mobile notary in your area, team up with law firms and other businesses, and that should keep you busy.
Mhm.
That's my suggestion. Jen?
So,
Yeah,
so
thank you.
we are having our certified notary trust delivery agent, and that's what we call specialized notaries that work with estate planning attorneys. We are having that presentation on the 19th, and I went ahead and put the registration link in the chat again. If you want to get signed up for that, it's free. Come listen about the opportunity and see if it's something that you would be interested in injecting into your business. See if it's the kind of business that you would be interested in. I can tell you it is much more, I think, fulfilling than the loan signing space. Um, it's
Okay, I just registered now.
Oh, yay, good. Okay,
Good.
awesome. Well, we will see you next Monday, and come with your questions, and we'll be happy to answer anything about that. If you're a CNTDA on this call, can you put CNTDA in the chat so Emeze can see what good company she is in? Because we have lots of them here. And if you want to reach out to any of these folks and ask questions, please feel free to do so. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
your question. Laura,
Thank you.
did you have something?
I said, look how many. It's just going. I love
Wow.
Celicia. CNT, no, CN,
Ta-da!
ta-da!
CNTDA. Let's see.
CN, then
Look at
ta-da.
all that. So you feel
With a
free to,
lot of people.
yeah, you feel free to reach out any of those folks that you want to talk to and ask them about the program and that line of work. I know Georgia's really hard with working in the loan signing space. And there's a few other
Attorney
states.
state.
Yeah, it's an attorney state, a few other states as well. Okay, guys, who else has some questions for us? Let me pull up our um, question form here. Oh, I hate when I scroll through and I found a great question and then it scrolled back up to the top. Ah, this is a question, Laura, that you and I actually get frequently. And I think it's a really good time of year to bring this up as, we're going into a new year, a new tax year. Do you think it's more beneficial or necessary for a notary to create an LLC, or is being an independent sole proprietor sufficient? Does this depend on each notary's personal goals, or from a legal standpoint, is an LLC a safer option?
So, of course, we have to start off with we are not attorneys, we are not CPAs, we cannot tell you or give you advice about whether any particular notary should have an LLC or a sole proprietorship. I think you have to look at your state where you're at. I think you need to look at if you've got concerns about lawsuits because that's LLC provides that kind of protection if you're afraid of that. Um, but on the other hand, LLC has rules to follow and filings, and some states like California, it's $800 every year
Mhm.
to start it, and every year after that to maintain it. So you have to decide, do you want to spend that kind of money? So I would advise you to talk to a professional for your circumstances. I'm willing to share that I found being a sole proprietor was sufficient for me. In
Mhm.
my 22 years, I didn't do that. But of course, I rely on being good at what I do. So I'm not so concerned, about the protection aspect that the LLC may or may not provide a notary because remember, your commission is in your name. You may have a business that is an LLC, but it's your personal name that's going at the bottom of that certificate. You really
Yeah.
can't hide.
Yeah. And I have my business set up a little differently. All the disclaimers that Laura said apply here. You absolutely need to talk to a tax strategist because we do not know your personal financial situation, your assets,
Right.
those all need to
Risk
be
tolerance.
those all need to be considered. But I myself have set up an LLC because it made more sense for me. But here's the thing I also want to tell you. You can switch that designation as you grow and scale your business. If you need to change from sole proprietor to LLC down the road, just because you file, as a sole proprietor the first couple of years does not mean you can't, down the road, get your LLC, if that's something that is important to you. And the main difference, there's differences obviously in sole proprietor and an LLC. The biggest one being what Laura said is you protect your own personal assets with an LLC a little better than a sole proprietorship. But if you are doing your job correctly, like she said, not something that you really have to be concerned about. So Marty asked in the chat, Laura, and I, of course, am going to bring this up because this is one of my favorite talks that you give. It was so life-changing for me personally. Can you remind us how you pay yourself first when doing bookkeeping?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really all about identifying the different buckets of where money is going to need to go. And the first bucket in line should be your name on it. So as a matter of fact, and the second bucket should be your name. You should have two buckets with your name on it. And that first one is going to be what we call profit. It's a small percentage. I work in percentages of whatever the income is, either by the job, by the week, by the month, however you can organize that. And you put that away. It might be 2 to 5% of whatever it is. So then that goes in that bucket. Then the next bucket is, what would you pay somebody to do the job? You've got to pay yourself for your labor to have done the work. So now that's your draw, and that is going to go probably in your personal account. That's where that's going to go. It's going to get transferred out. And then your third bucket is, hey, you owe Uncle Sam. What's your liabilities? 18% is about what seems to cover it for me. And so 18%, that's where that goes. And then did I hit three? One, two, three
Yep.
liabilities. Four is your operating expense, which is pretty much what's left over. The idea of pay yourself first is don't flip it the other way and pay all your debt, because there's never money left. There's never going to be money left for you. You have to take it first, whether that is 1% or 10%. That's what matters, is the order in which you allocate your money. I think that's the big deal about that. That's what was really helped me be able to pull money aside so that I'll be in a position to retire and not have concerns. The other part of that is make sure you have a money routine. And your money routine is you check in on your finances. You make sure that you are calculating those percentages, that you are moving money out. The other thing is, don't have it all in one account and just on paper say, well, this much is this and this much is this. You actually need to transfer, have multiple accounts. You have an incoming account, then you've got a personal account where your personal stuff goes. You've got a profit account where the profit amount goes. You got a tax account where your liabilities go. And then you've got your operating expense, so that you could look at any account on any day and know where you are.
Yeah. I just put the link to the book, Profit
Yeah,
First,
the
on
book's really good.
Amazon.
The book's really meant for, bigger operations than us, like with employees and such, but the process is the same.
Yes, yes, yes. But you're completely flipping the way we've
Yeah.
been told to think about money, and it makes so much sense, and has really helped me feel better about my business. Um, on the days where, my eyes are tired from content creation, and there's just so many things going on, and the phone won't stop ringing, and there's emails coming in every second, and you feel like you're working for nothing some days, right? But when you have this kind of information, and you know how to separate out your expenses and get yourself paid first, makes you feel a little better about what
And
you're doing.
there's levels after that, because then what do you do with that profit? You want that money to make you more money. You
Yeah.
don't want to save, you want to invest. And that's
Mhm.
the thing that a lot of us don't learn. We're told, oh, make sure you save money for a rainy day. Make sure you save some money for the future. But, the 3% that you might get, and that's a good interest rate right now, is not going to cover it. So think about, what can my money do that's in that profit bucket to make me more money without me having to continue to work on that money.
Absolutely.
So that's the other part of it. But I don't recall what, I mean, I do a lot of things to lower my taxes, Marty. I can't think of particularly what I said uh, on ways, I mean, other than I write everything off known to man that I can, that's legal, on my business. Uh, I can't think of what I would have said that's particularly lowered my uh, taxes. But I'll tell you what, this year being 65 will.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the other thing too, Marty, is Laura and I tend to not give out tax advice. So it might have been something that, you thought might have been tax advice, but it wasn't. We tend not to do that because everybody's situation is different. And unless we were to sit down and audit your finances and previous taxes and have a better understanding of how it all works, we wouldn't be able to give you an honest answer. So that's, we're not trying to be evasive. It's just we have to be careful not to tell somebody to do something and it backfires, right, Laura? Okay, so this next question is kind of for me, but I definitely want to get Laura and Matt's input on this as always. It says, I registered for a DC Chambers Small Business Summit and Expo. It was a free registration. Will you give me some tips on how I can make the most of this networking opportunity? Well, I love anybody that's going out and networking and taking a shot like this. I just want to say to whomever wrote this, this is a very brave thing to do, to be vulnerable like that and walk into a room where you don't know anybody and it's a big expo like that is extremely brave. So, really proud of you for doing it, for getting out and getting your marketing feet wet, dipping it's a big way to dip a toe in the pond, right? So I'm very excited that you took the opportunity. If you're on this call and you asked the question, raise your hand. I would love to ask you a couple of questions about it.
Hey, I was just getting my list out.
Oh, I'm going to put Laura on mute here.
Thank you.
But let's talk networking because whether you're walking into a chamber small business expo or you're walking into a small breakfast meeting, or just networking with a couple of people at a coffee shop, you have some basic principles that you want to follow, and that is talking to folks and finding out, not selling yourself and being a walking resume, finding out what you can do, the services that you offer, what can you do to help their business? Because they're not interested in how much E&O you have or whether you're an LLC or a sole proprietor or they're not interested in how many signings you've done for the most part. They want to know, how can you help me? And that is what's going to make you, excuse me, appear valuable to them when you connect with the people that find value in what you're doing. And I love Teresa's already getting ahead of me in the chat. She said, I love networking, but following up is key. And that's the second point. Networking is meeting folks, talking for maybe 2 minutes, maybe you stand there for 15 minutes. You can't ever predict how it's going to go. It takes practice. It takes, you got to keep going back, and you've got to be able to cringe through the first few times that are going to be really uncomfortable because anything we do new is uncomfortable. But following up, Teresa's exactly right. Following up is absolutely key. And so you want to make sure that you are exchanging business cards with these people and write notes on the back of those business cards about what you spoke of, maybe how you can help that business, what you learned about them during the networking event, so that you can follow up because the follow-up email is where you begin nurturing the relationship long term. Building relationships doesn't have, instant trust is not a thing anymore. That's not the world we live in. It takes about 14 touch points for people to begin to trust each other. And one of the things I teach in the 5 point marketing system is how to nurture those relationships through your emails, your follow-up emails, and then staying in touch with everybody once a month. But let's get to Faith. She has her hand raised. Let's see what her question is today. Hi, Faith. How are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm fine. How are you?
Doing great. I always love your voice. You sound like you should be on the radio.
Thank you. So my question is, can we go back over the second bucket that said, what would you pay someone? Wait, what would you pay somebody to do your work? Was that the next question?
Yeah, your labor. So if you took a job for $150, how much of that are you going to allocate to yourself for the labor that you put into the job? You're going to have, you're going to take part of it. Let's just say it was a 10%. That's $15 is going into the profit bucket. And now maybe you're going to pay yourself 50% of what the job was. So 150, that's $75. So now you got $75 that comes out. You had 15 that already came out. You just start going from there. It just depends on how much you rely on that income. For some, you rely on a lot of that income because it is your only income. Whereas some people might have a part-time job on the side, or they might have a full-time job, and they are not as reliant to pay their bills with it. And so part of making this work is called eradicating debt. Because if you have a lot of debt, then you're going to be more reliant on your business. And what happens is you put a lot of pressure on your business to perform, just so you can pay your bills. So you want to make sure that that profit, what's going to be used with that profit at first, is debt eradication. Got to get rid of that debt. So for instance, for me, I only take 25% of the jobs for myself to pay myself. And I have a higher profit than probably most would because I don't take as much for that. I have a higher operating expense because my Kajabi is a fortune. I have some high expenses to run the business that I run. So I have a higher percentage there. Instead of maybe 25, I'm about 35 to 40% because I'm reinvesting that. So I have to adjust it for me personally, and you'll need to adjust it for you personally based on how reliant you are for a portion of that. If you're taking the whole 150 and putting it into your personal account for yourself, then you're not going to make any progress because you will have spent all of it.
Okay. So my next question is, remember when you said to split um, the money into five different
Mm-hmm.
accounts?
Yeah.
So you said income, profit, and what are the other two, the other three?
Your compensation, owner's compensation, that's your draw, and liabilities, which is your tax liabilities, and then operating expense.
Okay, so you said split that up in five different files or five different
Five different
accounts.
bank accounts and decide up front by percentage. That way, when your income goes up and when your income goes down, so is the percentage. It follows what your income actually is. So you'd have an account for profit, and if it's 10 or $15 or whatever it is per job, that's going over into that account. And that account will get used once a quarter, that profit account. First priority is debt eradication. Once you don't have debt to deal with, then the second priority is how do you make money? You're going to take a dividend and the rest of it, you're going to use it to make more money.
Okay, cool. Thanks. That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Faith, I am also living in Texas, as you know, and I follow the system and I use just for your information. And of course, you need to look at your situation, but I use 15% in my tax account, and I have that tax account set up as a high yield savings account so I can maximize the interest I earn on that money because it just sit. I don't ever withdraw from it except once a year if I owe money for taxes.
Pay the taxes. Yeah.
Okay, so is this tiered from a bank account? Or are you talking about five different bank accounts for
Yeah,
these?
it could be the same bank, but it didn't have to be. My profit accounts, my long-term savings are in another account. I make it more difficult. I add friction and make
Mhm.
it more difficult to access that money. Because once it goes over there, I don't want to touch it.
Mhm.
Right. So the money I'm touching is the money that I move over into my checking account, my personal checking account, which is another account besides those other accounts. And the 15% or 18% that I move over, that's into a separate account because I don't want to touch Uncle Sam's money because it's not my money. I owe
Mhm.
that money. And when the bill comes, and I'm talking about, I do quarterlies, estimated quarterlies, I want to be able to write that check. And if that check's $8,000 to $10,000, that's hard to do in the same month. You need to be able to have a building of that tax, what do you want to call it, the money for the taxes. Um, when your taxes are only, $500, $1,000, well, okay, you might be able to do last minute. But when you have bigger tax bills, then you want to make sure that you've taken the time so that it's painless. When you write that check, I'm almost giddy that I'm writing these big checks because the money's just sitting there waiting for me to write it. And
Yeah.
I didn't have to not pay a utility bill. I didn't have to not go out to dinner. I didn't have to not buy something for my kids in order to pay the tax bill. The tax bill was taken care of all along.
Great. Thank you so much, everybody.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for the question, Faith. And check in the chat for the link to the Profit First book where this theory is was
Yeah,
born.
really good.
Laura, yeah, Laura
Michael
read the
Kalowitz.
Laura read the book, and that's where this information's coming from. So, Faith, I really,
Jen,
if this is the way you're thinking, I encourage you to get the book. Yes.
I think I have a recording of that. I think it's in my specialty, that 33 videos. It's one of
Oh,
them. Hmm.
I love
Oh,
that
hi. It's
presentation.
one of them. So there is a recording of it, Faith. It's in that advanced notary series and I haven't changed the price. I didn't get around to doing that. So still $99. All right.
Oh,
I got to mute you or mute me because I got something to do.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the question, Faith. I want to call out one of our regular attendees today. She is going to a networking event on Thursday to be honored as Notary of the Year in her community. So, can we all just show some love and excitement for Miss Barbara Mellion, who is the Notary of the Year in her community? Barbara, congratulations. What an honor and what a great way for you to really build that know, like, and trust factor in your community. Now, I have to ask you, Barbara, did you use any of the tips I sent you on how to market with that? Barbara, can you hear me? Okay, I don't, we are having difficulty hearing you. I see she's off mute, but we're having difficulty hearing her.
Can
But
you hear me?
Barbara, oh, I can hear you now. Yes, ma'am. I hope you saw all that love coming to you from
Yes,
the
absolutely. And I did use all of your tips.
good. Fantastic. I told
Yes.
Barbara that she needs to be plastering this all over town, that she is the favorite notary in her community. And it really is an excellent networking opportunity. So if you live in a community that has these kinds of activities where you can like vote, for favorite elementary school, favorite notary, favorite dry cleaner, all those stuff, all those kinds of things. Submit yourself as the favorite notary of the year. See if it gets picked up because it's an incredible way for you to an incredible marketing tool. So I wanted to make sure I sent her some good stuff for her to leverage that and grow that know, like, and trust factor in your community. And what better way to do that than having the community vote you as the best of the best. So congratulations, Barbara.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
You are
Thank you all.
so welcome. Okay, let's see what other questions we have. And Matt, are there any questions in the chat that I've missed?
I haven't seen any.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure so because I don't just go back through these. Guys, this is your last call for any questions that you need answered today. This has been a particularly quiet call today, you guys. Joanne, what can we do for you? First of all, Joanne, every time I say we're at the end, we need questions. You guys have it. You always think of a great question. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. I hope this one is. So here in Washington State, we can do a copy certification, but I was wondering for California, if you can tell me what your process is for doing that, which I believe you guys use like a verification upon oath.
Matt, you want to take this one?
Sure. So California notaries are restricted to copy certifying copies of powers of attorney only. That's when the notary makes the certification. So what we do in all other instances is called copy certification by document custodian. And this is when the person who presents the document for copy makes an affiant statement stating that this is a true and correct copy. They sign that, and then we can notarize their signature on that statement. And that's how we get around our statutory restriction. And in fact, that's the only solution we have available in California other than certifying copies of powers of attorney. We used to have that, I think prior to 2006, but it was unfortunately taken away. I don't remember the reason why, but that is what we do in California.
Mm. So can I ask what your process is when someone says they need a copy certify what was already signed and they will print it off of like a file?
Yeah.
Like, do you need to be there when they print the file?
No, because I, notary, am not certifying that it's a true and correct copy. They are certifying that it's a true and correct copy by what's called an affiant statement. It's basically a simple affidavit where they are declaring that the attached is a true and correct copy of the original document in their possession. And then we notarize their signature to that statement. Typically, it's a jurat, but they can pick whatever they want. They can have a jurat or an acknowledgement, and either one will be accepted for apostille at the Secretary of State. So yeah, we just explain. This happens daily to me almost, and I say, well, this is the only option we have, guys, and so that's what we do.
Okay, so you do give them that explanation of the process.
Yeah, because they don't understand that notaries are different in every state, and a lot of times, especially corporate firms, are used to their notaries saying, "Sure, I'll certify a copy of just about anything."
Right. Okay.
So you actually have an advantage over us in California.
Thanks, Joanne, for your question.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. She always brings the goods. All right, my friend Celicia in Jacksonville, Florida.
Happy New Year to everyone. 2026, if you can believe it. My comments are about apostille and answering your phone. So it's Sunday night. It's 9:30. My phone rings. And the boy is in Argentina. He's gone to go to school in Argentina, to go to medical school. And now they've told him they need something called an apostille. And they need to have it in a week. And it's like, yes. And so having that ability, and I said, well, sure, I'll see you in the morning at the school. What do you mean at the school? I mean, well, I have to get the transcripts, right? So I have to notarize the person who's signing those transcripts, their registrar, whoever the competent authority is. So I went down there and there was a notary who was in the office. And she said, but she's already signed it. And I said, it's an acknowledgement, ma'am. It's not a jurat. She could have signed it today, last month, last year. She just has to tell me, did you sign this? And, I get her ID and out the door I go. And so, I gave her my card. Hopefully she'll call me maybe, because I always tell people www.marketingfornotaries/TNT, www.coachmelaura, www. And I tell people, I said, the difference, is that you can really learn out there, get the notary starts, get the bills, get the everybody, but answer your phone, even if it's Sunday night at 10, at 10 o'clock. And sure enough, I went and I got the documents. They went out FedEx with my EC purchasing discount. It's $15 to get it over to Donna. She walks it in today. She picks it up tomorrow. She scans it to this boy that's in Argentina and he can go to school. And the mother's not frantic and he's going to lose a year of school and all this sort of stuff.
And you're the hero.
Here I come to save the
You
day.
need to get a cape, Celicia, the
Yeah, but
rainbow
really,
cape.
Apostille, answer your phone, connect with a great set of couriers all over the entire all 50 states,
Yeah.
Canada and Mexico. So, man, that is just the way to do it. And I just love it. I love you guys so much. I learned so much every day.
Thanks, Celicia. Thank you
Thank you.
so much. It's good to see you today. And we're going to take our last question from the person that started us off with questions today. Hey, Brian, what else can we do for you?
I just want to thank Matt and Celicia. They helped me out with the information and updating my business. And Matt had an article on his website about the child passport application, how to fill it out and how to
Nice.
notarize it. It helped me on one of the notary jobs I recently had. I
Nice.
was
Yeah,
like, oh, okay.
you're in the
'Cause
right
I'd never
place.
seen the form before. And I was like, oh, you got to
Well, you're in the right place,
mostly
Brian,
certificate.
because you've got a lot of great notary mentors here, on the call that attend every week to help us. So, I think that's really cool that you wanted to take a few seconds and thank everybody. So I appreciate that.
Yep.
And Matt just put, I think he put the article in the chat for everybody if they want to check it out too. And Melissa, I'm sorry I didn't see your hand up. So you are the last question today.
Okay, real quick with Matt, like how do you give them that form, the affiant statement, without offering them a form? You tell them to go online and look for it for the affiant statement from the
You're
signer.
muted, Matt.
Matt, Matt, you're muted.
Thank you. I explained to them if I've not met them already on the phone, what their options are, and they can go online and look for the form and download it themselves. They sometimes will print the statement right on the copy itself and sign to it. Or if I haven't met with them already and they're asking me when I show up, then I show them the California copy certification by document custodian form with a jurat and an acknowledgement, and they can pick whatever they want. So I'm not telling them which one they need to use. I'm just saying this is our only option. This is what I can do in California. That's it.
Would a jurat with affiant statement work?
You can't pick it for them.
No,
have to
if you
present
showed it
both.
them, you
You have to
told them what it
present.
meant.
You have to present both of them to them, and then they'll pick it based on their own decision.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, guys, thank you for spending an hour with us today. This is our favorite part of the week. I want to remind you that we have a special panel guest coming next week. You'll get an email about this an hour before the call starts, but Lori Ham with the help me out here,
The American Guild of Notaries Public.
American Guild of Notaries Public is going to be here. And if you don't know, Lori has she authored 17 versions, I think it was, of the Montana Notary Handbook. She has been in this business for a very long time and is one of the most knowledgeable people you will ever meet in the notary space. And I say that as someone who gets to work with Laura Beware every day. So you definitely want to make sure that you are here next Tuesday. Bring your questions for Lori. She's going to tell us a little bit about the Guild and how it can help you. But she's going to stay the whole time and answer any of the questions that we have. And don't forget, immediately after this call, a survey pops up, and we would really appreciate if you would fill that out for us. We actually look at it and we use the information that we receive as a way to shape this call and make it the best call for notaries. We want to keep this the longest running free coaching call in the notary community. So, I am going to do what I always do and put Laura on the spot to close us out today. Laura?
Well, here's what I have to tell you. When's the last time you did something just because it made you happy? Not because it was productive or would lead to something else, just for the joy of it. Today, go find that thing and do it.
Love
There
it.
you go.
Excellent advice. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for being here. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.